When it comes to deep networking, the topic is often demonized, and this happens because most users confuse deep network with darknet. Today I'm going to show you what really happens when a person gets caught in the darknet. What is found there in the servers that are not encrypted and hidden from the internet network is called the deep network. It is there that there are often archives and documents that you would not find in official search engines. There are those who are able to eliminate traces of a given video or audio document from the internet network. To date it is not possible to eliminate such files from the deep network simply because we do not know precisely where they are located. These servers. To access the deep network, you need a specific program that looks and behaves like a browser, namely Tor. It is called a darknet, because the files are never local but deposited in a dense network obscured by the positioning of visibility of the physical archives remotely. Under the deep network there is a dense network of servers absolutely off the radar of the internet and also of the deep network. We are talking about dark network. We must keep in mind that when we talk about crime, drugs, weapons and pedophilia, the dark network is the nerve center. Most of the users who access the dark web do so for entertainment purposes. We are a generation convinced that we have seen everything and that nothing can scare us. You are really sure of it? Now I'm going to show you some videos dug up and brought to the surface by someone from the darknet, and from there you'll figure out for yourself why you shouldn't get there. Here are just a few sequences of the videos that were thought to be fake but concealed a crime. The woman you are watching suffer and would like to free herself is not an actress. The room in which she was filmed in the moments before her throat was slit is precisely the woman's home. According to the investigation, the woman lived alone and the body was found 3 months later. I found no further information on this case. What you see is not a scenic effect. The man you see in the video shows a plant that has as its root a human hand up to the wrist. Things are not really like that. Man has been trying to make grafts of human organs and plant roots for a while. I could not understand the reason for this type of experiment. We don't know who was cut off from the hand, and the reason why it moves has to do with the fusion between the nerves of the hand and the acids of the plant. In the rest of the server where this document was found, the man tried to graft everything, including a woman's breast, to grow a very common salad. As on the internet and also on the darknet there is a community that generates visitors, but as a publishing line has chosen torture. The boy in the video who is eating is later discovered not to be an accomplice, but a person kidnapped and forced to eat until he dies. In some scenes, which for obvious reasons cannot be shown, if the boy stops, he is hit ferociously. This video is not a photo montage, but a half woman, and the other half could be a dog or a fox. The person who is filming is thought to be the father. The lifeless body of the half woman was found. The man filming knows how he managed to trigger human DNA and the animal DNA remains a mystery, along with the reasons why he could do such a thing. Most of the time, when these types of videos come out at first glance, we think of a good-natured person with a strong sense of the horrid, who tries to generate more visitors. But sometimes it turns out that the video itself is not a fake video, nor a horror story, but pure and simple reality. 5. Baby Burger. As absurd as the title of the video may seem, is exactly what you would find in the video. The images of the slaughter of a newborn were cut naturally. The video was analyzed to understand if it could be a fake video and no trace of montages was found. The whole video was obtained in a single sequence. The video ends with the preparation of a hamburger from human flesh. If I should find information about arrests and identities, especially that of the child snatched from his mother's arms, I will make a video dedicated to this given story. DC destruction. It's hard to find an internet user who doesn't know what it is, but not everyone knows that only a few years after the publication of the video it was understood that the little girl cut to pieces by this man was real and was called DC, was practically bought by a poor family in the Philippines by this man. His name is Peter Scully, currently in prison on various charges. He had tortured and killed Liza, 12 years old, Cindy 11 and the youngest, Daisy, only 18 months old. All the victims before dying are sexually abused by Scully himself. The same happened with several Asian women. What is on my mind right now is that DC would have turned 18 today and could have had a peaceful life away from misery, If those who swore to take care of her had done so, the man who murdered her was wealthy and could have guaranteed education and safety to DC as well as to all the other victims. To be sure that these videos are not just legends, I went down to level 5 of dark web to know if these videos are really present in the cache of the network. I had to discard many of them, but these selected videos are not fake, they are really extracted from the darkness of the web. These people are really disturbed, often abandoned, in many cases with formidable abilities but used in the most incorrect way that the human mind can conceive. A woman in a wheelchair being thrown into the stairs of a basement. A murder of a sleeping couple, a surgically assembled man. Difficult to determine where the crime is taking place, although some of the videos you are watching, perhaps for the first time, were created live with the dark web streaming system. There is a fight to see who has more visitors even in the dark side. The user wants blood, and often finds it, and feeling excitement for this he returns to the search for the dark without knowing that he is financing people with upset lies indirectly. People able to attract innocent victims often through the chats of the dark web. This generation was born within the era of the web and social media. It is estimated that a boy of only 8 years old knows how to access the Onion server and access the dark web. He is able to do it more than his parents, and what often happens are the disappearances of young people who at best were just curious. I would like it to be clear what would happen as soon as you manage to access the dark web. 1. The dark network community could punish you for this, and as has already happened, someone could knock on the door of your house. Your connection comes to you from a router connected to an IP code which in turn is linked to your home address. If this information gets to the man who put humans in a barrel, what do you think will happen to you and your family? 2. Except for those who watch this video know what an advanced VPN connection is, I guarantee you that it is better not to enter the dark network. It is not certain that some homicidal maniac will come to visit you, but cloning the contents of your computer from a dark hacker is of impressive ease. 3. In a previous video we talked about how easy it is to remotely activate microphones and cameras of a computer remotely. In the dark network the chances of this happening increase exponentially. 4. In 99% of cases your computer stores your credit card information in a native folder. It happens when you use sites like Amazon or eBay. That's another reason not to go into the dark web without proper precautions, and unless you plan to set fire to your computer after doing so. Operation Disruptor is the name under which European and US law enforcement agencies carried out the largest global dismantling of illicit activity on the dark web, which led to 179 arrests in 6 countries and the seizure of 500 kilograms of drugs and $6.5 million in cash and cryptocurrency. Weapons, drugs, pallets of cash and corpses or parts of corpses were found. Entering the dark web would be like immersing one's attention in putrid water. The madness and the dark side of suffering lies in the basements of people who have lost all sense of reality and civilization. There are people who would take pleasure in seeing the whole world go up in flames, and psychedelic manipulation can be a rather effective weapon to manipulate the perception of those who might be fascinated by a dark world. One of the most hidden risks of visiting the dark web is an extensive proliferation of malwares. The malware, for those who do not know what it is, indicates any computer program used to disturb the operations carried out by a computer user. A click on a wrong link and a click on a wrong link and the sensitive data of the computer from which you are browsing. Fraudulent activities and sabotage attacks. In 2008 there were about 15 million malware running on the internet. Compared to the number of malwares present on the dark web, it is estimated that it is only 3% of the total propagation. Dragging a malware from remote to local is as easy as a simple click. The most used channel by criminals is the internet. According to Symantec, it is the web, or precisely the dark network. Today, one of the most sophisticated stego malware evasion strategies is present mainly on the dark web, and it is not long before the subject realizes that the single duration of connection can turn into an activation of camera, microphone and remote financial data transfer. We've all heard horrible things about the dark web before, from selling drugs, to hiring hired hitmen for a fee. What perhaps not many people know and the extreme ease with which these links can be found. There are archives hidden in the dark web, documentation often not present on the internet, but a researcher is equipped with defense programs and separate units to access them without risk. You would never dive into the Mariana Trench without the proper equipment. It's without thorough training, so don't try to go all the way down to the dark web level if you have no reason to do so. When you access the dark web, you see them and they see you. If you don't know what you're doing, you won't just have to close your browser or turn off your computer to get out. Some people have never left. Some people have died, or have been involved in the reasons that generated convictions. It is estimated that American spy agencies possess communication bridges accessible from the dark network, but this happens because dark network does not index. The only way to get the link is to have it physically, but it is not invulnerable even for the CIA. If you consider that the dark network projected was thanks to this program that it was possible to create the Tor project, the browser best known for accessing the dark web, or for many the door to digital hell. The onion router, or rather onion port, is so called because it works exactly like an onion. Layer 1 official search engines, Layer 2 unofficial search engines, Layer 3 deep network, Layer 4 ARPANET development, Layer 5 Darknet. They are not able to determine how many layers it has. Darknet, and everything you can find in it. It's not what you ever want to happen in your real life. It would seem that there are only 3 VPNs on the market that can block all ports in order to make your browsing safe. One of these 3 I strongly suggest based on the tests done. The computer is totally disconnected from the network although online, and we have created an affiliation with them. You will find the link in the description. If you are interested, click on it to find out more. But remember, having a great VPN is not a wonderful reason to access the web of pain, blood, darkness. If you have underage children, check if they have a program on the computer called Tor. Just go to the search engine and type Tor. If you find this program, your children may be in danger. And if by chance your computer is the one with which you log in, I advise you not to allow children to access that computer. If you are a teenager and you are watching this video, know that I am not lying to you to get more visitors. The human mind is not made neither to see nor to conceive the feud of pain and torture that dark web proposes. Like all sad things, they are mistakes of man, mistakes of the skin. You are not to blame until you understand that darknet should not even exist. Write to me in the comments if you've ever tried the feat of accessing the dark web, and if you were aware of the material that at best would cause a shock to even the most daring of surfers. Don't let curiosity kill your privacy. I say goodbye and advise you to look at positive images and listen to motivational music for the next 10 minutes, which is essential time to clear your mind from the sequence of images you have just seen.